Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 27th. We're going to jump right in here, Gemini, and we're going to see what is going on in your current general energies. You have this self-confidence card, and so obviously being self-confident is going to be very beneficial for you at this time. You also have the Lovers, and so if you want love, then I would say being confident obviously is going to be beneficial for you. But I kind of feel like this is a person that could be approaching you. This person feels a little bit risky to me. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it. I get this like risky vibe from this person. I'm kind of wondering, and see, you have two sevens here, which represent internal fears that don't exist, right? So if you're attracting a person this week or any time in the very near future, I kind of get the vibes here that this person, I feel like they feel risky because I feel like they take risks in life. Like, you know, it could be like a person who's an entrepreneur, for example. It could be a person who, maybe they climb mountains or something like that. I don't know. It gives me that vibe of like a little bit of a risk taker. Is it a bad thing? I would say probably not. I feel like you're going to be very attracted to this person just in general. I feel like what you're trying to avoid is the same old story with the Nine of Swords here. So you even have this porcupine spirit, and the porcupine, I'll show you, its quills are going this way, right? They're pointing towards the past. So I do feel some of you are trying to protect yourself from the past. That card says time for a beginner mind, but it's not like a beginner mind as in you're forgetting all the lessons you've learned. It's a beginner mind as in maybe you're entering into a new situation in love, which is very different, which is going to require you to learn some things about a new person. But it's also saying make sure to not make the same mistakes from the past as well. Like if there are warning signs, if there are signs or symbols, that is a warning that you should pay attention to, right? So I kind of get that energy here with this Nine of Swords energy. I also have like, I kind of feel like there's something else here with that porcupine. There's an old hunting kind of mythology around the porcupine. Like when hunters see a porcupine, they either like throw a rock at it or they hit it on the back with a stick. And I'm sure some PETA vegan is going to come out of the woodwork. I'm not suggesting you do this, of course, for you PETA vegan people, right? Go eat your grass is what I'm going to say. But number two, what I would say is that there's something about that popping up here for me where it's almost like I feel like some of you could be having something coming into your life where it's like a warning. The mythology is that the porcupine is the tattletale of the forest. So by the hunter hitting the porcupine with a stick or whatever, it's basically the hunter is saying, I could have killed you, I didn't, so don't go tell all the animals that I'm coming, right? So that's like the mythology, the story that goes along with the porcupine. And for some of you, I don't know why that's popping into my head, but what I would say is I kind of feel there could be something coming in where it's like you're kind of like either bopping a person on the head. I feel like you're saying like I could destroy you right now, but I'm not going to. Or it could be like a situation that is so obvious that, like a toxic situation that's so obvious you're saying no to something. I don't know. It popped into my head, so I had to say it. You have the Lovers, which is you, of course, showing up in a very strong position. I feel like this puts you in a position of power and strength with the Lovers here. I also do feel that there could be love coming in for you if you want love, but it's going to be something new is what I'm getting. You have the Six of Swords here, which really tells me that you're moving on to calmer shores. I feel like you're moving on to bigger and better things. I also feel that you're kind of like willing to learn from situations. You have the Five of Wands here. The Five of Wands to me represents learning because it is a card of kind of like taking a risk as well. It's normally on a traditional Five of Wands, the people on the card, they're kind of fighting with sticks, but they're not using swords. It represents the fact that they are training. They're learning how to fight, Gemini. They're not like fighting just to fight. So I feel like you've been learning how to do things by going through things. I know that was like a whatever you call it, but with the Six of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. A lot of fears showing up in your reading, and I feel like embracing your self-confidence is going to be the thing that helps you get over your fears. You have the Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles to the Devil, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. Whenever I have multiple sevens in a reading, to me, it can represent internal fears that don't exist. So I feel like you need to let go of your fears On top of that, I feel like you know that someone from the past is a liar. And like I said, I feel like it's almost like you're showing this person, like, I could bop you on the head as hard as I want and knock your ass out, but I'm not going to. It's almost like you're saying, I kind of get this feeling, it's almost like you're exposing a person's truth to them. And I feel like they're saying, how the hell did they know that? So it's like, it's almost like you're warning a person here. I don't know. I can't get past that feeling, but there you go. With the Lovers, you have the Ten of Wands. If this is a past person, I feel like they were just a burden, just a pain to work with in general. So I feel like you're focused on forward movement. For others, I kind of get the feeling that this is saying that you're focusing on yourself. And I feel like you're kind of going like this. It's like if we go this way, I feel like you're focused on projects, businesses, people, situations that you can build. You have the Knight of Wands here. And the Knight of Wands can be a card of kind of like the builder or building or putting work into creating something. And I kind of feel that here with that Knight of Wands, that you're only focusing on situations that you can build, that actually work, that actually, lead to something, With the Nine of Swords, yes, you are ending a difficult situation, which I kind of got that vibe here. And that's what I feel like is going on here. It's like you're rising above something that has been a pain. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this Wish Upon a Star card. I kind of do feel there is like an unexpected wish or wish fulfillment coming in for you. Obviously, it's not an unexpected wish because, you're the one that's making the wish. But I feel like what is unexpected is that your wish is being fulfilled. So I would definitely say make a wish this week. It could be about anything. You might have to learn about something. You have the Five of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. Some of you could be like fearing a wish as well here. It's like maybe you're wishing for something that would be good for you, but at the same time, it's almost like you're saying, do I really want this? Do I really want to put the work in to, make this happen? And, it's kind of hard to say like, what this is, but I've seen this happen in my life with people that I know where it's like they wish for a certain amount of money, for example, but then they start making that amount of money and they start having like all these old fears and all these old worries. Seven of Pentacles, you have that self-confidence card. I feel like it's almost saying like, wish for something that you want. Maybe it's $1 million. Maybe it's a perfect relationship. It's going to be different for all of you, but whatever it is, I feel like it's saying, and then move boldly towards it. Like don't turn around. Don't look at the past. Don't start fearing things that used to happen in the past. And more importantly, I'm kind of getting here and with the 2 sevens in this row, I'm getting like, don't self-sabotage, I don't know why that energy is popping into my head, but, I'll just give you an example. I have a buddy who worked in real estate and he was like super, super successful, but he stopped doing what he was doing to be successful in the first place. And, basically, he was advertising in a way where he was getting a lot of attention, he was finding a lot of success, but then he stopped. And then, basically the advertising, it worked for like a little bit of time, but then after that, it stopped working. So he lost all this momentum that took him like a year to build up, right? It's like he was afraid of his own success. And, I kind of get that energy here where it's like saying, you have the opportunity to be very successful, so don't become afraid of your own success here. You have the Five of Wands, which is a card of learning. And learning as much as you can. It's like if you got to a certain place or if you're getting to a certain place, you got there for a reason because you can handle it. So again, don't turn around. Sometimes, again, I think we find a certain level of success, then we start worrying, we start looking back. It's like, no, you got to that level because you can handle it. So you can handle it. Don't start thinking, small here. I feel like this is saying, think big. You can break through these barriers. I really feel for a lot of you that you could be breaking through some plateaus here. It could be like financial plateaus, could be in any other area of your life. But again, you have to think big. With the Five of Wands, you have the Four of Wands. Could be marriage coming in for you as well. There's a good mix of everything here. So if you want love, I definitely feel you could be attracting a person you will marry. But again, I do get a little bit of, I don't know what word I'm looking for here, Gemini, but, I get a little uncertainty, but it's not even uncertainty. I just get like a little bit of that, like thinking a person is too good for you or whatever. I would cancel that right out of your brain, right? You could be meeting a person who kind of requires you to kind of like level up, right? Maybe they, I really don't have any good examples, but maybe you feel like their success is up here. Maybe you feel like you're down here, or, take it how it resonates. And I feel like this is saying like they chose you for a reason. And that's all you need to know. So don't start, going back to those old, kind of feelings. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Five of Wands. Yes, I would just say learn your way through this situation, right? I feel like you're learning a lot right now, and I would continue to learn. Five of Wands is a card of putting yourself in conflict so that you can learn. And, some people always say to me, like, why would you want to put yourself in conflict to learn? Well, there's actually a paradox, right, in life, where if we are at a certain point in life where things are too easy, then we kind of like just stay at that level. But if we have like a really big problem to overcome, that might be the thing that like motivates us towards success. So there's kind of like this in-between zone where if something is easy, we just coast, right? We don't try to go up or necessarily down. And I get that feeling here from the reading. I don't remember the name of the paradox, but basically it's some sort of paradox where it's like if something is too easy, or if we're kind of just like coasting, we stay coasting. But then when something really bad happens or hard happens, then we kind of go up. But sometimes we have to, if we want to grow, we have to put ourselves in those situations. Like if we want to become more successful in business, maybe we need to try to find harder clients to work with who are more difficult, but that help us grow, that help us learn. Maybe we need to learn new things that require more work so that we can grow, right? So I kind of get that energy here. I hope that makes sense. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Page of Pentacles. There's new love coming in for you. I really feel there's a person who stands out, but they, it's kind of like I feel triggered. I kind of felt this at the beginning of the reading. I feel like you need to go into this with self-confidence, and I think you need to kind of cancel out those thoughts of thinking that you're not good enough or that you don't deserve a person or whatever. Again, this person, that could be coming in for you. There's something about them. Maybe they're much more successful. Maybe they're who the hell knows what it is. But whatever it is, it's triggering some thoughts inside of you, I feel. I feel like this person could be coming in the next 6 months. I know this is a weekly reading. But again, I to me, tarot, the universe doesn't wear a watch. Things happen when they're meant to happen. And, that's what I'll say there. I feel like you could be meeting this person. I kind of feel like you're meeting this person either through friends or in public. You have the Knight of Wands and the Two of Wands. You have all the other Wands cards here as well. But those two cards, to me, kind of represent more social energy. Two of Wands is putting yourself out into the world. So I feel like that's how you will, find this person, basically. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have the Porcupine. Again, I do feel like it's time for a beginner mindset, that Five of Wands. If you're not growing in your business, I feel like you need to learn something new. It'll probably help you grow. Or I would say look for some sort of mountain to climb. Look for some sort of challenge, And trust me, I get tons of comments from people that are like, I've had too many challenges. Oh, boo-hoo, right? It is what I say to you. And again, yes, this is tough love with Chris. It's actually tough love with Steve, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and tell people like, oh, you should just do what is easy. That gets you nowhere in life. It's like, trust me, every single person that leaves me those comments, 0 subscribers on their channel that they don't have, right? And I'm sure 0 of everything else that they have in life. So again, yes, you can call me mean, vicious, whatever you want. You can unsubscribe. But again, this channel's for winners. It's not for the, losers, right? And what I would say here is that I really feel this is saying put yourself in a situation that's going to require you to learn, especially if you want growth. That's just how life works, right? Too freaking bad. Same thing in love. It's like sometimes I think we pick the same type of person because that type of person is easy. To me, it looks like here, Gemini, there is a person who is hard. But again, it's not hard. I feel like they want to be with you, this person. And I think the hard part of it is that they kind of require you to grow. It's not like they're coming to you saying you have to grow. It's just by the simple fact of being with this person is going to cause you to grow. And that's like the hard part, right? And so again, I hope that makes sense. And, but again, if you do it, you will be very successful. You have the Knight of Swords here. No rushing anything at this time. I am getting here. I would be careful of anyone who's trying to sell you something right now, Gemini. It could be a scam, number one. But number two, Knight of Swords is my card of getting a second opinion. Sometimes, I think that we encounter a situation with maybe if someone's working on your car or maybe someone's like fixing your plumbing or something like that in your house, they might give you a price that's like way too much, right? And I feel like this is saying it would be better get a second opinion at this time. Knight of Swords can represent like making a rushed decision and it's not the right one. So I would just, if you have any important decisions, I would take your time. You have the King of Swords. Again, it makes sense that you could be attracting like a very mature, kind of like wise person here. It doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to either. But again, I feel like this person kind of I think the word I'm looking for is inadequate. I'm not saying that you are inadequate, Gemini. I feel, but again, I'm sure we've all been with a person where we just kind of feel like we're not measuring up, right? And I feel like this is saying, number one, don't think like that, because I get the feeling that this person just doesn't care, or doesn't, it's not like they look at relationships that way, and they will make that very clear to you, I feel, as well. But I would also say, feel free to level up. It's like, who doesn't want to level up in life, right? I would be leveling up. It could be a Capricorn for some of you. You have the devil here. To me, the devil can be a bad card, but it's not always a bad card. And here's what I will say, is that we have Saturn moving into Pisces this year. And right next to the devil, you have the Two of Wands. And to me, Saturn moving into Pisces is actually going to be a good thing. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but what I would say is that it's like we've had Neptune in Pisces, which is almost like this is not accurate astrology. This is Chris's crappy astrology. But what I would say is it's almost like that root chakra creation energy where we could be kind of coming up with creative ideas, these castle in the sky type of ideas. With Saturn moving into Pisces, it's like the expression of the idea. I frequently say with the devil card, sometimes I think we just have to take that root chakra energy, bring it up to our head, and express something out into the world. And I feel like that's what is going on here. It's like you have some ideas, work, in business. Maybe it's something new that you're going to have to do, obviously, with that beginner mind card. But if you express it into the world, you're going to be successful. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot of attraction between you and this person when you meet this person. But again, when you have those ideas that you're not good enough or whatever, cancel, right? Just cancel those ideas. With the King of Swords, you have the Hermit. It's very interesting because I kind of feel like you could be attracting a person like this. I really feel they're heavily focused on themselves, not like in a selfish way, just more in a, I feel like they have their own projects, they work on their own stuff. Maybe this is what's making you feel this way as well. The Hermit, sometimes I feel, can be a person who's done a lot, like a significant amount of work on themselves. They've, overcome obstacles and challenges. They've done the research on their own self to overcome their, dark night of the soul, or they've done some soul searching. So like a very spiritually evolved person, I would say. With the devil, you have the Seven of Wands. I would definitely protect yourself from the past if you're dealing with the past. I also think it's crazy that two sevens, you have, 2 7 or like 3 sevens here. So 777 could be 77777. Could be an important number, obviously, here. But I would put up boundaries towards toxic things, including your own thoughts, right? Sometimes I say that the Seven of Wands is like drawing a line in the sand. It's like you're saying, I'm not going to go past this. I'm not going to go down the hill. I'm going to only go up from here. And so some of you, I feel like, need to do that mentally. Finally, in the area of the good stuff, you have this first quarter moon in Virgo. It says assess the situation, and it doesn't matter what comes up here. It's going to be positive no matter what. So again, I feel like there's no rush. And by the way, if you want to take your time with this person, and if you're feeling like a little bit inadequate, or if you're feeling like you're not sure about the situation, I would just tell this person that you want to take your time. And I feel like they'll be like, okay, it's just that simple. And it could be because something is being triggered here. Even though this is the good stuff, I'm wondering, if you had a past heartbreak with a person who was inconsistent, and maybe this person is very similar to a past person as well, but they're not. It's like they might seem similar, but I actually feel like they're not. So don't be afraid to take your own time, your time in this situation. I would just communicate it. It is popping into my head that I feel like this person, is a very high vibe King of Swords type of person. So I feel like they don't like to play games. They don't want to play games. And if you kind of withdraw from them or whatever for no reason, I feel like they're going to be like, this is a game, I'm leaving. So, I would just kind of express it, and I feel like they'll be fine with it. You have the Three of Swords here, but again, this is the good stuff. So it doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be positive no matter what. And I feel for a lot of you that the good stuff that's happening here is that you are kind of healing from a heartbreak. I also do feel forgiveness for a past situation. So some of you could be forgiving something from the past. You have the Two of Wands, which is like a card of taking the lead. And it's also a card of getting out into the world. So I do feel a lot of you could be getting out into the world with this energy. It's like you're working on something new. I feel like you've been thinking about a lot. You have a lot of cards of thinking. It's like you've been dreaming of starting something new, obviously with that time for a beginner mind card, or you've been dreaming about maybe taking it to the next level. And now I feel like it's time for you to express it into the world. And again, this is really why I was saying you have to go up that mountain, right? Because he has completed something. That wand behind him stands on his own. He's standing at the top of a castle, and he feels like there's nothing more for him to accomplish, but he has the whole world in his hands. There's like so much more that he could do in life, but again, he has to challenge himself, and I really feel that's what this reading is saying, Gemini. There's no other way around it. I feel like it's saying in all areas of life where you want to grow, challenge yourself. You have the Knight of Wands here. Again, I feel like this could be the person coming in for you. Again, Knight of Wands would normally be inconsistent, but this is in the good stuff, so I feel like this person is very consistent and just like very straightforward, very adventurous as well is what I would say. So let's see what we have going on for you here. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Star card. I mean, you know, a wish, a dream come true, could be an Aquarius coming in for you for sure. It's either like an Aquarius, a fire sign, someone with Aquarius in their chart, a lot of fire here, or a Capricorn is what I would say. Could be any sign though, general reading. But I feel like it's a wish or a dream come true. Everybody's been getting the Star card, and again, it makes perfect sense. We have Pluto going into Aquarius. To me, we all need to have some sort of North Star to work on. The North Star could be anything. It's like maybe you want to save the manatees. Maybe you want to open a gas station. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I would just have something that is like a big goal. Take your big dream, whatever it is, multiply it by 100. That's what you should be working towards. Multiply it by 1,000. Are you going to get 1,000x? Probably not. But if you get 100x, then are you going to be disappointed? Hell no. But I think the best thing you could do for like the next 20 years is to work on something impossible. And yes, I said it, work on something impossible so that you can blow your own freaking mind. For all the complainers, all the people that say, my life is so hard, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is, right? That's the whole point of life. But guess what? For all those people, they're just going to stay the same. You're not, because you're a winner, because you're still here, because I pissed everyone else off before this, right? So you have the King of Wands here. Boom, right here. Divine counterparts. I'm telling you right now, this perfect, a lot of desire, a lot of attraction. This person's very, I feel like, again, I would just communicate with this person is like the only warning that I'm getting here. I feel like they don't tolerate BS. If they sense that you're holding back or something, they'll probably just leave. So communicate. And this could be you too, take it how it resonates. With the Two of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles, a lot of stability coming in for you. I actually feel good about that Four of Pentacles, and it is showing up in the good stuff, but it's popping into my head as you like stabilizing your finances. So amazing. We're going to pull 5 themes now here, Gemini. You have the Fortune card. Definitely great fortunes coming in for you here. Could also be a Leo coming in for you. This is the Sun in Leo, but I really feel there's just like fortunes coming in. Next, you have the negotiation card. No negotiating. I feel like again, I don't really like this card right now because to me, it's like more like saying settling. And I don't think we should be settling. I think, again, we should be working towards something impossible. Next, you have the flirtation card. Definitely we saw love in this reading. So if someone wants to flirt with you or someone wants to take you out, I feel like you're going to find this person like in public, like I said, so you have to go out. Yes, I know. It's hard to leave the house and get out there, but again, that's what I would do. I would like go out in public. Next, you have the patience card. I feel like you've been very patient. You've been waiting. This is like this card always reminds me of like the Nine of Pentacles, right? It's like, see that lady? She kind of looks like the Nine of Pentacles lady. And so I feel there's like a lot of luxuries coming in for you, or you're like working hard at work. Something about work here. And finally, you have the domination card. I feel like you're dominating a situation. Also, as far as the past is concerned, I would be careful of the past person, especially if it's a fire sign, because, if you have a past fire sign, they might try to dominate situations, so you might need to block this person, Gemini. But that's what I have for you, Gemini, so thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.